grab my whiskey. I'm trying to get drunk.
We don't care what R. Kelly did.
Did I say anything racist this time?
You better get out of here, honky.
And now for something completely different.
Man.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Just crap my pants.
All right. It is February 16th, 2022. Right now, it's just Kevin and myself. Blake is going to join us later. So, if you just listen for Blake, just fast forward just a little bit. He'll probably be on here. What's up, man? Sitting in the car?
Sitting in the car, doing my time, helping my family out by taking my daughter to volleyball.
Right on. Yeah, man. How's that going? Going pretty well?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I get a lot of
Good.
me time, get to catch up on emails.
Yeah, catch up on emails, watch TikTok.
Absolutely. Gotta get it right.
I hate you for that. Like,
So,
it's not as bad what Jared sends, but it's like, all right, you're getting close.
so I think me and my best friend have who can send the most, I guess the nastiest TikToks. So you guys are the bearers of that.
That's nasty,
When,
dude. It's basically a TikTok of some lady. She's very overweight and she's singing Creed. And she's got a pickle. She opens up a refrigerator and she opens up the pickles. And does she drink or eat a pickle? Is that I didn't finish it. I was like, nope.
Yeah, she is the pickle.
I don't want to know what this lady does with the pickles. So we're done now. Blake, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, man. I see you in the background. You thought you're ready? Okay. All right. See, for those of you that only listen for Blake, there he is. Not even a minute he's here.
Not even 3 minutes total.
Yeah. We just so but to answer
basically ads.
To answer your question though, Kevin, I did finish season 3 of Mandalorian, and I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it before Mandalorian showed up, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's kind of weird. I don't know if Boba Fett needed to come back.
I don't think so either. I don't even know if they needed a whole series of Boba Fett. Maybe a movie?
Maybe a movie, or maybe just keep them in cameos. We're starting to say something. Blake.
Check 1 2.
I hear you, man.
Yay! What's up, boys?
What's up, man? But yeah, man, we're talking about the Boba Fett show. But yeah, I just
never heard of it. Carry on.
So, but yeah, I was saying before, yeah, I don't about 4 or 5 episodes deep before because I didn't even know Mandalorian I didn't even know he was gonna show up. Like I kind of stay away from spoiler stuff. So I had no idea he was gonna pop up like that. And about 4 or 5 episodes deep or whatever, I was like, man, this is just kind of a weird show. Like it's very slowly plodding along. Some of the backstory stuff is interesting. I guess they got to explain how he got out of the pit. They had to do that, and I guess they had to kind of explain what he was doing and how he turned from a bad guy to a good guy, because he was a bad guy all along, right? I mean, pretty much even in the clone, because wasn't he was in the Clone Wars before?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, his dad was
Jango Fett,
kind of the main character in the Clone Wars, but it's the same guy that plays both parts.
Okay, yeah. So it was just it just kind of, to me, it seemed as more of a tool just to move the Star Wars story along, versus like a whole Boba Fett thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm not
also
sure what they'll
think
do with
that
it.
it got a lot of backlash because Mando came and saved the show, and I think the Mandalorian is everything that people want Boba Fett to actually be.
Well, and that's the thing is like Boba Fett in general, and I know this is probably really boring the shit out of you, Blake. I'm sorry.
I'm good. Go for it.
Boba Fett
I
in
was the late
general,
one.
like before all this, he had like what 3 minutes in the Star Wars universe, but somehow he was like in the top 5 character list.
Yeah,
Like
because you're so mysterious.
the whole thing was weird to me, like the fandom that was that character for a character that had a 3-minute stint and a 3-movie timeline, right? And this is the guy, right? Because I mean, he was the one that caught Han Solo, right?
Yes.
Okay, so was he in? Because you're more knowledgeable at this, so was he in Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back and the beginning of the Return of the Jedi.
Okay, so he was in 2 movies, but both of those he didn't really have, other than catching Han Solo and then getting janked into the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so in general, for a character that didn't really have much to do with anything in the Star Wars universe, it was kind of weird that he had his own TV show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
maybe spoke like 5 lines, maybe 10 minutes of total on-screen time.
yeah, I mean the Mandalorian thing is kind of because I mean the Mandalorian is what he is, right? A Mandalorian. He's part of that, I don't know if they're a race of people or how you would state what they are. I mean, because not anybody, but they basically pick people up like out of nowhere and make them a Mandalorian, right? I mean, because he was adopted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, rambling on about that, but yeah, it's just an interesting, and I think more to your point, Kevin, like people are, and that kind of proves that people are willing to watch non-Skywalker things in Star Wars, right? You don't need to have the original guys in it for it to be interesting because you literally popped out Mandalorian and people went nuts, right? And Grogu and all that.
Has there just been like a resurgence of these type of shows and movies, or is it just that they've added a new twist? Because I feel like, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm watching my daughters were freaking out like during like when we was watching the Super Bowl, like every time there was a commercial that had anything to do with Marvel. I mean, my daughter probably does. Maybe it's what you guys do, like looking for spoilers or not necessarily looking for spoilers, but looking for clues on stuff. But because
Yeah.
they'd be freaking out.
Marvel, well, Disney in general has done a good job of taking these franchises that they bought, Marvel and Star Wars, and just turning them to machines.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is for the most part, and Kevin, you may or may not agree, but I feel like the quality is there, which is not normal. Because usually you see these TV shows are, they'll take these franchises like The Walking Dead or like take like any of your NBC or CBS shows that and they do 100 spinoffs. Even the Harry Potter universe, they become so saturated that eventually it becomes bad, right? So, but I feel like with the whole Star Wars, well, say what you will about Star Wars, like that what happened is what happened with that. But as far as with Marvel, at least they've done a pretty good job of keeping it in terms of just keeping the quality there. But the other thing that they did was when they did the Disney Plus thing, they're basically ensuring that all year there's at least one show that you are watching, and they're rotating it, right? So they're saying, okay, for these 3 months, we're going to show you a Star Wars show. And the next 3 months, we're going to show you a Marvel show. And then we're going to repeat this all year long. And the other thing is they're going to say, not only we're going to do that, but we're not going to show you the same Star Wars or same Marvel show constantly, right? So you'll say, so you're not going to get year after year seasons of X Marvel character. right? You're not going to get that. You're going to get a season of Hawkeye, a season of Loki, a season of Vision and Wanda, right? And then, you know,
And the stories just keep going on and on and on, just like any
Right.
great
And
series.
it also connects to the movies that we're gonna drop.
yeah, they do a good job of make sure it all is going to intertwine in some way, shape, or form. That's the other interesting part is, you know, after Moon Knight ends, I think that's when the new Doctor Strange movie drops. So they do a good job of that as well, which they didn't do at first when they threw out, like, I think it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They tried to kind of intertwine that with the Marvel universe, and it just didn't work for whatever reason. But I just think, you know, more to your point, Blake, I think they've done a good job for the most part of quality. And like I say what you will about the newer Star Wars movies, you know, I still found them entertaining. Even though they had their faults. But
yeah, it's at least some type of entertainment. I guess that's what's kind of fascinating about it, is that they can continue to keep a storyline and keep people. I mean, think about how long these characters and comic books have been around, and you know, they just continually make them relevant with everything that's going on. And you know, like we always talk about, all the different ways to be entertained, but somehow they still suck everybody in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man's on its way to making $2 billion at this
That's
point.
nuts.
You know, it's
so much money.
Each character has some stuff that they
You're breaking up really bad, Ken. Sorry, buddy.
What's that?
You broke up really bad. Try that again.
I said each character, they're building substance, and you're following each character. It's not like you go to a movie and you're like, oh, that's like a C character I don't know about, right? But
Yeah,
that character might have a show.
Yeah, they do a good job of taking, like, even like the lowest comic book characters, like, because even Iron Man was like a B or C tier character before the movies came out, right? He wasn't the one of the top 4. He wasn't Cap. He wasn't Thor. You know, he wasn't a top character. So yeah, you're right on that. They've done a good job of taking, like, the characters you really may not know much about and putting them in the forefront.
I think I like that aspect of it, where it's like they're showing, you know, everybody's different characteristics, or, you know, strengths or weaknesses. At least that's what it sounds like they're doing. You know, they're taking, like you said, somebody you don't really know about, and then you get to know that person, even though they were just in a couple scenes of a movie or whatnot.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job with that, and they've all also done pretty good, I feel like, in making them have faults. Because I think the biggest issue with a lot of these movies with heroes has been they've been just like the perfect person, right? But you know, in these, it's like
No such thing.
they've made mistakes, and heck, the Civil War was all about, you know, how much the Avengers messed up, you know. So I mean, they made a whole movie about it. I think even DC did a decent job of that after what was it, a Man of Steel movie, that the very first Henry Cavill?
Your boy just turned into a robot.
You gotta fix that, homie.
Beats by Dre.
Even
Beats by Dre.
Yeah, I don't remember what movie it was, but they talked about how much destruction that Superman cost in that movie, in terms of when he fought the villain. Like, they basically just tore through New York City. So it was interesting to see that, you know, how they took superheroes and kind of, you know, humanized them and said, look, there are like real world repercussions to scenes like this, you know.
Yeah.
So
it makes them, I'm sure it allows people to relate to them more, you know, and like you said, show that human nature in them or whatever.
Yeah, looks like Kevin's Beats by Dre must have
took him out.
Yeah,
does he know this is Dre's week?
Speaking of that, man, yeah, we can move on to that halftime show.
What'd you think?
Man, I feel like every year, like, the halftime show is like talked about, like, and I guess for a reason, because it's always like a super popular person and everybody has their opinion. I thought I've never really been like anti halftime show with anybody. Like, I've been like, all right, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
This one I thought was
fun.
The thing about this one was, like, I don't know that I thought it was good, but there's no way, here's the thing is it was very family friendly, and you don't listen to Dre for family friendly beats. Like
Yeah. Yeah, but they had to.
they
Like
had to, right? And that,
they,
that I agree with that.
and I mean, first, I think I think the Super Bowl was phenomenal. I think just the hype. I think the team. I was actually kind of fascinated with the fact that it was the Bengals, Cincinnati. Nobody ever even thinks about Cincinnati or Ohio. It seems like
Right.
then you're going against LA, which they probably care for about a month if their team wins. Where it seems like Cincinnati is like they were probably longing for the Super Bowl their whole lives. And
Yeah, the Rams is very much like LA's very flavor of the week, right?
exactly.
Right.
Yep, it very much was. It just but then again, it's like I was happy for some players on the Rams,
Oh, for
but
sure.
yeah, but anyways, but back to the halftime show. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was hyped up. I mean, I'm kind of glad they made it family friendly just because it's like if not, then you got to hear the other aspects of it, like, especially if they were using foul language or the N-word or whatever. It's like how, I just don't see that. I don't see that going over too well to billions of fans or whatever. But
But do you think it was family friendly? Because everything I see, there's a lot of people that did not think that it was family friendly.
I 100% thought it was. I had no problem with my kids sitting in the room while it was on. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
the part with 50 Cent with the girls dancing around, but I was like, who cares?
that was it.
That's
Like,
not.
that was
Yeah,
the-
that's kind of normal.
And
Right?
if Beyonce was doing it or whoever else, I mean,
Shakira.
it's a stage. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
dude, that was the best
yeah,
halftime show of all time. Dude,
Yeah.
yeah,
hands down, my favorite halftime show ever was that one.
yeah. The sad part is you backed them up with with all the rappers from the '90s. It's
Right.
like they seem lame compared to those girls. Talking about J-Lo and Sakura,
Sakura,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was nuts. Yeah, I mean that dude, it just shows you kind of it just takes you onto this topic of like people have such a hard time being entertained by something that they don't find entertaining or they don't like, or they like if you're complaining about it, it wasn't for you.
Mhm.
It
Right.
was for all the other people that happen to like this industry and like this style of music and like these rappers. It's like
Right.
turn it off. I mean, it's just the same thing we always talk about. It's like just turn it off. Just don't complain about it. But
Yeah, go get your halftime food. You're fine.
yeah, I mean, it's just, but then again, I mean, no matter what happens nowadays, there's always going to be, the
Backlash.
the articles written on the up or the downs of it. But I kind of was expecting more from Eminem, but
I was too. I was like, oh man, they're because as it was going on, I was like, are they saving Eminem for last? Like he's gonna come out and just,
It was like the anticipation, right? Like you're waiting
Yeah.
for M to close, right? Because
It-
out of all of them, he's the most successful, right?
yeah, probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Right.
Yeah, but I think I honestly got most excited for Snoop, and I don't even know why.
Really?
Like, just it's not like I said last week. It's not even that I really listen to his music. It's just his voice. It's just so iconic. Like, I'm glad he's still. It was one of those like, man, I'm glad he's still around. Like, that is just an iconic voice,
Yeah.
style, sound that
Isn't he in
we've
his
just
si-
kinda
isn't he in
grown up
his 60s now? Like he's older, right?
I think he's in his 50s.
Is he in
I
his
think-
50s?
Gotta
I
be
wanna say, like,
50s.
56, 50, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey Siri, how old is Snoop Dogg? Hey Siri, how old is Snoop Dogg?
How old is Blake if he's using Siri like that?
How else do you do it, bro? All I know, it's not working. Well, I also was thinking that they probably couldn't have too many Eminem songs because most of it is not family friendly. It's like, what verse does he? He's 50.
Duh.
Yeah, he's 50. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I
so-
know Mary J. Blige is 51. I think Dre is in the 55-ish range.
Yeah.
And did we need 50 Cent hanging?
Yeah, we
upside
did.
down?
Yes, we
Dude, I
did.
didn't even
That
know
was
50 was on.
awesome.
I didn't even
loved
know
it.
50 was on the show. So I think that kind of made it better to me. And then when he
Yeah.
did come out,
Then all the memes of how
he was-
fat he looked.
he was a whole dollar.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
look, man.
But he's got a lot of muscle too. Yeah, they they said 50 Cent got so big he's a whole dollar.
I didn't
God,
even
dude,
think
I
he
was
was
cracking up.
big. Like I was like he was bigger, but I was like he's not like Fat Boy or anything like that. Like
No, it's just
Fat
Well,
Joe.
yeah, exactly. No, he bulked up like really, really big, and I think he might be one of those people that bulked up really big and probably maybe not as committed to the gym, and it's kind of turning into more of that like
Well, he probably did steroids. I mean, let's be honest,
exactly.
and that's
Yeah,
fine. I
right.
mean, it is. And I'm not hating on him for it, but
right.
and I mean, and anymore he does TV show and movie stuff. Like he produces and acts. Like he doesn't.
I
Yeah.
know.
He's not in that life
Yeah,
anymore.
he's moved on. I'm happy for all of them. I mean, it's so hard to
Yeah.
stay relevant, in that rap game and music industry. I mean, I feel like 50 Cent doesn't even put out music anymore, and he's just
Yeah. No,
he's just still around.
acting. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
question: if this group of people toured, how quickly would you buy a ticket?
Oh my God, could you imagine the Dre tour? Just
I would-
call it the Dre tour.
with
and
just with Eminem and Dre and 50 Cents and
Dude, take
Mary
my
J.
money.
Blige and Kendrick Lamar. I could do without Kendrick Lamar, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah. He's got a few songs. Yeah, that's kind of where I feel with Kendrick. It's like I think he's a talented guy. I mean, I don't think anybody understood a word he said when he did his rap, but like I just don't put him in that
With
group.
them.
Iconic is what it is. I don't think he's as iconic as the rest of them. I think he's on. I think he's really good, but those guys are legends.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming.
I think he was only there because he's with their label. Like
Yeah,
I really do
exactly.
feel that. Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
he's still good enough, but I mean, he's still good, but it's just like the rest of those guys are like that's a whole nother
Legends.
level.
Yeah,
I did wonder though, why hasn't Drake had a halftime show?
I mean, that's got to be coming, right?
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like
Or Post Malone.
yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things though that
kind of been the most consistent.
it comes out of their pocket. Like they have to.
Yeah,
win it.
absolutely.
So I don't know if it's something that I don't know. Like
Yeah, I wonder how that. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Because you would think a lot of artists would like to do it, but then again, you have to be an artist that's doing well enough to,
Right. Because I think
So they
I think
pay.
the
So they
weekend
pay
last
for
year
all of it.
spent two. I think
Yeah,
the weekend spent $2 million last year.
Yes, they pay for all of it. Like the NFL doesn't
Yeah.
even pay. They don't pay for the dancers. They don't pay for the props. They don't pay for they don't pay for any of it.
Crazy, isn't it?
They're
It's
so
all-
stingy.
It's all on.
They
Yeah,
think the UFC's bad.
it's the typical. You're gonna get exposure. shit.
Yeah. We're helping you. You're not helping us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The artists normally go on a tour after the.
that's what the
The show.
weekend did. Yeah, I think that he promoted that. But like,
Makes
did he
sense.
really need to promote? Like, I don't know. Is it really necessary to promote at the half? Like, if you're the weekend, do you really need the NFL to promote your stuff?
Right.
Not really.
I mean, but you got to think about how many eyeballs. So I mean,
Yeah, you're on the
getting-
grandest stage.
you get millions and millions of eyeballs, and let's just say 10% start listening to
Yeah,
your
but
music. And
I don't know,
by-
man. I just feel like half of it's probably racist rednecks anyways, so they're not gonna watch it. I mean, everybody complaining.
I love how that's the football demographic. Just racist rednecks
A bunch
watching
of people
football.
from Alabama watching.
Right.
Got my beer in my hand and my
Right,
KKK hat in the other.
Yeah, freaking Dre. I hate this kind of music.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Who are these thugs up here?
Where's Kid Rock?
Yeah, for real. Honey, play my anthem.
Yeah, but play
There you go.
Kid Rock.
bang, the bang, the bong, the bong. My
my
name
Sweet
is
Home
Kid.
And your boy Eminem got a bunch of flack for kneeling as well.
Dude, he didn't even kneel for what he kneeled to give Dre.
Yeah.
Like he was done, and Dre was right behind him singing, so he kneeled down.
This is the whole point. Like I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't even want to bother with the talk because it is
Don't
literally.
look at the comments, right?
I found this
not
out
real.
the other day. That there is a writer who is paid to just listen to Rogan's podcasts and then just write about everything that he says that is,
Negative?
incorrect or inappropriate or like
Like a
literally.
fact checker.
Yes, and Rogan has even talked to the people on the air. He's like, "Listen, I know you guys are paid to write about me. I understand it, and I'm glad you have a business. But I'm a nice guy. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not, whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways,
There's
Yeah.
a lot of things like that though. Like it's not just Joe. Like there's like a lot of like after the show shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, 'cause they're making
that's
money.
like a business in itself. Like there are podcasts. All they do is talk about a podcast. Like there are shows that
Yeah.
all they do is
Re
they'll watch an episode of The Simpsons
Yeah.
and then they'll just critique that episode.
Yeah, it's so true. And then there's also the reaction videos
Yep.
and it is crazy how you can make money. Like, I'm sure there are people out there making, well, I know there is, I just talked about it, but there's people making money off of, whoever, the Rogans of the world,
Mhm.
just by listening to the podcast and possibly
Yeah.
talking about their podcast or breaking down their podcast
That's
or
all
Off
it
of
is.
others' creativity.
it's all it is.
Dude,
It's just
you know the biggest thing in that is wrestling.
oh, I
The
bet.
amount of wrestling podcasts and wrestling news sites and wrestling this and wrestling that, all because of WWE.
That
I mean,
I don't know if you listened to Brock Lesnar on Pat McAfee or not. Did you guys
Mhm.
listen to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. I've always kind of had a little nothing against Brock. Just I was kind of happy for what he did in the UFC, but then again, I also felt like he was on steroids and they kind of let him get away with that. But that's not to say there's probably many others that he potentially even fought that was on steroids too. But hearing that conversation, just kind of hearing him about just trying to raise his sons and just living out in the woods and
Mhm.
just trying to be a nice person is one of the things he said. He's like, I'm just trying to be a nice person. I don't know, it just made me kind of be like, all right, this guy's. But I also was thinking about like how big this guy is and how you're such an alpha male. Like when you're born with this DNA, and just to kind of see where he's taken his career and how he's just become this. I mean, he's a product in itself. Like I feel like he's almost like a Hulk Hogan at this point. I mean, do you agree, Richard, that he's that big or no?
100%. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
huge, man. He whenever he's on the TV, eyes are watching it, no matter what he's doing. Like it's
He's
whether
carrying
it's
it.
yeah,
And I feel like he has one move.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard or Kevin's
well,
like, yeah,
I mean, he's
Five.
a legit wrestler. I mean, he's a legit
Yeah.
collegiate, undefeated wrestler. Like
right.
and that's the other thing too, is like Brock is the real deal. Like he's not some dude that just came up and is entertaining you. Like he's a legit athlete. He legit is a collegiate wrestler. There are
But
people out there. He's the only person that has been beaten by him. Like he's the only person. Like so he is that good.
Okay, and I understand that, but like we're obviously talking about matches that are scripted, right, or storylines that are scripted. So I understand that he's like a great wrestler,
No, I'm
but
talking
like
collegiate wrestler.
right, yeah, I get that,
Right.
I was just thinking, I was thinking that you were talking about like translating into actual wrestling, where I don't know
Uh-huh.
how much like wrestling, being a good wrestler,
Oh, he's a
you know,
great. He's one of the. Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
him and
yeah.
Kurt Angle back in the mid 2000s put on just some fantastic matches. Like
Oh,
just
I bet.
I mean, you're talking two collegiate wrestlers. He's put on some really good matches.
So,
Yeah.
being a good legit wrestler, college wrestler, that helps in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's so you got him, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Cable, Jason Jordan, who wrestled for IU. Yeah,
And Kel Sanderson.
yeah.
The,
As a
the
matter of fact,
Olympian.
yeah, there's a whole division of WWE. All they do is they scout collegiate athletes, and that's all they do.
Makes sense. You get the disciplined guys that are freak athletes, and
Yeah.
huh.
But I mean, if you're a wrestler, right? If you're a wrestler in school, and maybe you know more about this, Kevin, and say you wrestle and you get a collegiate scholarship, and and that's really all you know to do. That's it. I'm just a wrestler, dude. And you get
Yeah.
a degree, but you just want to wrestle. What do you do after college? Like, there's no
Nothing.
MBA for wrestlers. I mean, unless you go
It's either
Olympics.
either MMA or WWE, right?
Yeah, I mean, even the Olympics, though, it's like even the Olympics is full of mainly college guys, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you don't. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking was like realistically, you have two routes. You have professional wrestling or UFC. One of them
Yeah.
pays jack shit. The other one, you're probably going to be a millionaire if you're successful.
Yeah. Yeah. And one is real punches to the face, and the other one though you can
Yeah.
get hurt. You know, they're
Yeah.
abbreviated punches
Absolutely.
or whatever. Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, both of them are such a wild industry. I'm sure there's a lot of sports that are like that. I mean, I kind of even think about that. You know, it's weird because like, I always wanted my kids to play sports, and I'm glad they are. But you know, there's I have those moments where it's just like, you know, like with Ella swimming. Like, I'm glad she's swimming, but it's like, does she want this? Like, does she want to go to college? Like, what's the end goal here? Like, are we just using all of our time and resources and money to take? But that's part of it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I played sports. It doesn't mean you have to be
There's
a
a social
champion.
aspect to it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah,
camaraderie that's grown out of it.
Right.
yeah. You
It's
learn a
more
lot
than
from sports.
right. Yeah, you know, discipline and you good skill set. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
and I'm the same with my son. Like my son, he's not by nature, he's not competitive. Like he just doesn't care.
Yeah,
But we still, try to involve him and he's been doing tennis lately. So
right.
and he actually really does enjoy it. But like I said, he's just not competitive. Like he's
He just
if his opponent started to cry, he would let them win. He would not care. Like he's like, all right,
he's
you got
just a sweet boy.
yeah. He doesn't have that in his blood to go after
D-
someone
d-
like that. So
Does your daughter?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hard to
I
tell.
think she might, but it's hard to say. But
Yeah,
see, girls are I don't know, man. I don't know about your girls, but my daughter is much meaner than my son. Like a lot meaner.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
They.
agree.
I mean, you know, they're
Like,
just.
I mean, she will purposely say stuff to you knowing is mean.
Oh, really?
Are you'll I don't know, you'll say something to her and just kind of say something in an affirming way. Like you'll say I love you, right? And
Yeah,
the expectation is for your little 6-year-old daughter to say I love you back.
yeah.
Nah. sh- She's like, I know. And
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna yeah, I guess I get that. Like, when I come home, like, I always will make a big deal when I come home, like, "Your daddy's here, he didn't die on the way. Does
don't care.
anybody care?"
Don't
You know, like,
care.
I'm constantly singing, like, they'll be watching TV and I'm jumping in front of it, like,
Nice.
just
Just
dying
happy
for
to see him, dude. Like,
I know, no
I am
one cares.
happier to see my
To
kids.
today when I came home, I heard footsteps running, and I was like, "Oh yes!" And Addie ran, jumped up in my arms, and then Evie came and wrapped her arms around my legs, and then Nika made Ella come in and give me a hug, and I was like, "This is such a great feeling." I was like, "Y'all have no idea how good this feels just to
Yeah,
get a big." And then my dog jumps on me and slobbering. I'm like, "This is the best day of my life," you know. I was just driving in traffic and cranky, but
dude.
it's amazing how they change you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what happened real quick. Why I was a little bit late getting on the podcast. So I was in the garage actually getting set up, and Nika texts me, "Get to Addie's room!" Exclamation mark, and then another text, "Hurry up, please." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on? Did somebody get hurt? Whatever." So I run upstairs, and Addie's on the bed, and she's crying, and I'm like, "Oh God, like now what? Like what's going on?" So Nika reaches underneath her pillow, and she has a tooth fairy. So Addie lost her tooth yesterday,
Mhm.
and we've since she was a kid, we've always put the tooth in the pillow, and got the money out, do the whole thing, right? So she reaches under her pillow, and the tooth is still there.
Oops.
So Nika's kind of looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, does she still believe in the tooth fairy? She's 10. So
Mm.
like I don't even think I had no idea, because we were even kind of joking about it last night when she lost her tooth. We're like, "Oh man, you got to put her underneath your pillow for the tooth fairy," whatever, just kind of joking with her. Well, so she was crying because she found out that the tooth fairy wasn't real. And I
Oh.
was just like, God dang it. I was like, really? And she literally made the comment. She goes, "I don't even know what's real anymore." I
Oh.
was like, it just, I don't know. It just, when you think like, so then we had the talk of like, now you know Sparkle is fake, which is the elf on the shelf. And she's like, well, yeah, I knew that. She's like, I'm not 100% sure about Santa, but I'm pretty sure he's fake. I go, yeah. I go, big fat guy doesn't go down doesn't go down the chimneys, and across the whole world or whatever. So yeah, so we had to break it to her, but it was just kind of one of those funny moments where you walk in, you're just like, oh man, this is like a milestone in her life, like
Yeah.
found out there's some fake creatures out there.
Nice.
Well, what is your guys' opinion on that? Like, it seems to be kind of divided anymore in terms of like giving that kind of information to your child is lying and just is almost abusive.
It's deceiving.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
I wouldn't say it's abusive because the intentions are good. It's just giving them something to believe in. Use your imagination, have fun with them. I mean, even with the elf on the shelf stuff, like that wasn't something we had as kids. It's something that we've done for our kids. And look, the innocent looks and the cuteness and the excitement and the oh my gosh, how did it move? It's the only reason we do it as parents. It's just something to entertain the kids. So, I don't look at it, as to one way or the other. But I
It's
have
abuse.
always yeah, there you go. but I
I'm
have
just
always
saying it to me. I don't know what age your daughter did, but like I think Olivia was like 8 or 9 when she was like kind of figured it out, and it's like,
yeah,
hey, you just saved us a lot of work. Like,
yeah, I know. It's
you
about
know,
time. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if my son, he's 12, and I don't know if he believes or not. I think he's pretending to believe because he's afraid that if he says something, he'll stop getting presents
Right.
Oh
from Santa.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's
So you
like,
okay, because my oldest is 12 and she doesn't. I feel like it's been a few years since she's, believe. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things where you just, especially when you're just having like full on conversations with your kids and you feel like they're maturing. Like it's just one of those things where you're just like, how does your brain still think that this thing is real? But then again, hey, my parents have told me my whole life that it is. So why would I question them? And
yeah,
that's kind of back to what we were just talking about. That's the part I don't like, where it's like, at what point do they say, okay, is there a God or not? Like, you've been telling me to
Right.
believe in him too.
yeah,
you know? So,
yeah.
well,
That's
well,
another
yeah.
conversation. That's a whole different conversation.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So sad. There's a God somewhere.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, he needs to straighten out. He needs to straighten up this
Yeah.
this country. That's for
He
sure.
needs to bring his ass down here is what he needs to do. Do his damn job.
Lay the SmackDown. It's gonna be like a.
Something.
It's
I
gonna
don't
be like
think
a
you can say
shatter sound, like
I don't
Stone
think you
Cold
can
coming
say
out.
that, Richard. He's like, where you at? Where's the breaking of the glass?
Yeah.
Just
So, all of a
comes
sudden
out.
you realize, yeah, God is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Could you
Dun, dun,
imagine?
dun, dun,
Oh
dun, dun.
hell yeah!
So that explains everything. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah,
Oh, that's crazy, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's an interesting. It's always a little. It's got me. It kind of makes it fun. Like when we was up there, Nika has like all the notes throughout the years that they have wrote to Santa, and we kind of gave those to her so she could read through them. So you just got to turn it into something special and fun. And we
yeah,
try to kind of telling her like, hey, this is just part of maturing. These are little things you tell your kids, and we have fun with it, and we keep that magic Christmas spirit alive. It's just the whole bull
yeah.
crap talk.
I'm in agreement with you. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I just, it's the whole, imagination and the magic of things, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like the extras, the giving your child belief that there's like ultimate good in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's this
Yeah.
dude sitting somewhere, and if you're good, you get something good out of it, and it's magical. And
Right.
you know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And even if you're not good, you still end up getting something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I like the, teaching people to give and care and love for people around the holidays and stuff like that. I mean, that, that always comes out of it, as well. But, but yeah, so yeah, there you go. There's our story.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Kevin, you got a little bit of news you sent to us.
Oh, yeah.
Is this something you can share, or do you want us to hold off on
I mean,
that?
I nobody listens to this. Uh,
I mean, we
I
got
feel,
a good solid 20 a week.
Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
actually applied for a position that I've applied for, well, twice previously, and I've gotten denied because of the, I guess, the way that my company wants to structure it. Right? They want a person that's went through this side and stuff like that, and so I finally got it, and I am trying to figure that out right now, basically.
What are your
Um,
hours the same or what?
hours are sort of the same, still morning. I mean, turn into salary, so you gotta become more available, but pretty much the same though.
So you were salary and now you're hourly, or excuse me, you were
No, no, no.
hourly and
I
now you're
was
salary.
hourly and now I'm salary.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Well, that's good,
Yep.
I
So
guess. I don't know. Sometimes I think hourly is the way to be because you can get that overtime.
yeah, but I mean,
But then again, salary you can cut out a few hours early and
yeah, absolutely right. But I mean, also salary when you gotta open up that laptop, you gotta open up the laptop. So yeah. So
yeah.
I'm excited for a new challenge. Like I, I don't know if I talked to you guys about it, but I basically was at the point where, hey, I'm tired of training my next boss, so I want to be the next boss. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I
That's
kind of
what's
looked at
up.
it like that. So
So is it a
Good.
management type position? Your
yeah, it
leadership
is a man.
or
Yeah,
middle manager?
yeah, midline manager. Yeah.
Awesome.
So midline manager, explain what exactly you do then.
Well, I'll be a package and delivery manager, so I'll be managing from the P&D side of my company and kind of promoting our vision through, I mean, our goals and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So you're just managing the products, managing the shipment, where
I'm
it's getting
managing.
out.
I'm managing managers and coordinators
Wow.
to help push service numbers,
Okay.
basically.
Is that more stress or what?
I mean, I'd say no because I feel like I've already been doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
one that's been training people. I've been training the people in their department. I've been teaching the people what to do. So like everything. I mean, not. I mean, the only thing that changes is me approving people's time and vacation and more organization. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So you have a
Yep.
team of people?
Was that?
You have a team of people then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people are assigned to me. Yes.
Cool. How many?
It's about 12.
That's good.
Now
That's
do
good.
do you
Yeah. So it's
thrive
not
in
like
that?
that's
Do
good,
do you
huh?
thrive do you thrive in that? Do you like kind of being the boss and having to deal with people?
I thrive in being a leader. So yeah, I would say I would thrive in that. Yes. I
Okay.
want I'm goal oriented and task oriented and like the challenge of getting goals and push and kind of pushing the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yeah, we're going through that stuff right now. Like it kind of gets frustrating working for, I mean, we all kind of work for, other people or whatever, but um our company got bought out by another company and we're supposed to get these bonuses, and now all of a sudden the bonuses aren't as great as they're supposed to be, even though we beat our record numbers. And it's just this whole like, oh, it literally came down to the people, from what I'm understanding, the people that kind of bought us out did not approve of how much money our branch was able to make in bonuses, because it's more than what they're making. So therefore, they docked our bonuses. From what I'm gathering, it's still kind of all up in the air, but it just got me to the point where it's just like, man, it's like we're the ones doing all the work. And it's like somebody sitting in an office making too much money wants to take a couple $100 or whatever it is from us. It just I don't know. It just I was pretty heated earlier this week because I was just like, man, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of working and never feeling like there's enough money, and it's just I don't know. It wears on me sometimes.
Yeah, it's always it always seems like it's not enough, right? Because it always seems like you always got to do something extra. Like I don't know, you got to fix something in the house, or you got to pay for your kids' braces, or
Yeah,
you
man.
gotta,
We just bought a new washer and dryer because our
new
because
stuff.
because our washer went out. Yeah,
Right.
Groceries are
I
going up. Like it's just
dude. So Nika probably would. I might have text you guys this. I don't know. Nika sometimes doesn't like me sharing like financial stuff or whatever, but I don't really care. We're all in the same boat. We did our we were just looking on our Kroger app just to see like how much money we spent just at Kroger, not counting gas, and
mhm.
it was
This
over $13,000.
this is
And
just one store, bro.
that's one that doesn't count Costco, which is $1,000 just to walk in, and doesn't count Meijer and Target and God. I mean, I was blown away. I mean, it's over $1,000 a month, but it's like, yeah, that's probably what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about laundry and paper towels, and I mean, of course,
That doesn't
that
count going out to eat. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
it's just insane. It just I say this every year. Like, I would really like to see like all the money we make between side gigs, whatever, and then all the money that goes out. I would love to see where we're at the end of the year. I mean, I know that probably takes discipline. You can figure all that stuff out, but
Mhm.
like I almost wonder for the majority of families, are you is everybody making enough to even keep up with the lifestyle that we're living, and I don't think any of us are living, beyond our means, we're just trying to stay humble and get a
Yeah.
dollar, but
You'd be amazed the amount of people are living in debt though. Like it's
Oh yeah.
exactly.
the credit card debt in this country is just out of control.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're good at that. We always keep it down, because I don't ever want to get, too far in the hole because it's just man, the more you're in the hole, the harder it is to pay off, but I do always feel like, there's always something holding above my head that I need to pay off first, and it's just like, do you ever get above that? Do you ever, I mean,
nah,
it's
man,
just
because your
like,
kids are gonna get older. They're gonna need more stuff. Like I said, you're gonna need braces.
yeah,
It's more
Medical bills are
expensive.
gonna happen. Yep, your washer and dryer is gonna break. Your sewer line's
yeah,
gonna break. Like it's all just, and everybody's looking to make extra money off of you too. Like no one can come in and just fix shit. They got to be like,
nope,
oh yeah, for an extra
$100.
$100, I
Yeah,
need to do this too. It's like,
Hey, you
dude,
might
yeah,
want this warranty.
oh yeah, you might want this warranty. Like
yeah.
they always have to make a little bit extra off of you.
Yeah, because their boss is pushing them to give them initiatives to make
Yep.
more money, and then they'll get a little bit of a bonus. And I mean, it's what's happening to us. We raise our rates, we make more money. Therefore, I get an extra however much more money. And
Hmm.
I mean, it's just, but it seems like I think that's where my thoughts have been. Where it's just like, when does this end? How does this end? Everyone is trying to
Six
get
feet
richer.
under.
The richest people are trying to get richer. Like
Yep.
like just to say that they're richer, or
Well, I
or
well,
or
I will say the price is never gonna go down.
yeah, that's a fact. I mean, yeah, there's no way. This is something I have been thinking about, and I don't know how serious I'm thinking about it. But with as much driving as I'm doing, I almost feel like my next move has to be an electric car. It doesn't have to be, but I would like to know how much money I would save a week by using. I'm spending basically $60 a week right now on gas, so I'm already thinking, okay, that's gone. Like that, that'll free up that. But will that $60 go to something else to keep this electric car going?
Yeah, it'd be
You
interesting
know?
to, because I know with like electric cars, you're not doing oil changes or anything like that either, because you
Yeah,
don't need
that's true.
that stuff. You don't need gas, and it's only a matter of time before the electric companies dip their little greedy hands into it. You know what I mean? And say, hey, if
Right.
you have an electrical outlet that goes to your car, we're going to charge you an extra amount. Like it's
Yes.
only a matter of time before the electric companies decide to do something greedy like that. Unless the government steps in and is like, no, y'all can't do that. That's messed up. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I'm sure I could look up articles about how much money you can save a year by driving. I mean, I would think that that'd be a selling point for electric companies, you know.
Mhm.
Espe But then again, like, let's say I have a charging station at my house,
Yeah.
that's gotta use X amount of electricity, raising my bill. Is that equal to the amount I'd spend on gas, you
Yeah, I
know?
don't think it would be that much because I've read up on that, and I do think it's like pennies in terms of what you pay in gas, and a lot of electrical companies will come out and do that for free.
Oh, really?
We'll just install a station for you or install an outlet. I know. I think like ours does it. AES. Like I've seen, they've given me letters in the mail saying, "Hey, if you get an electric car, let us know. We'll come out and install a station for you."
Man,
Uh,
that's crazy.
so yeah, and depending upon when you get it, if you get it, I think like 2025 or later, you may not have a choice.
Right. So you should
I know, like,
research it anyway.
yeah, because I think even like the new Dodge Chargers and stuff like that, I think they said by 2023, 2024, they're going all electric. Like you won't even be able to buy a new car if it's a Dodge.
Do you do you think that's going to turn out okay? I mean, when everybody goes electric, I mean, do you think there's gonna be some, like, learning curves or, some maybe warning sign? I don't know, I feel like for everything there's a negative, you know?
There has to be, right? I mean, so you never
Yeah.
get good with, it's not, yeah, that's the way it is with like, you ever play those video games, Kevin, right? Where like they give you choices and no matter which choice you make, it fucks up your game.
You're done. Yeah.
You lose regardless.
That's life, man. That's life. That's like, it's also politicians, right? If you do something
Yep.
for the right, the left gets shitty with you. And if you do something for the left, the right gets shit. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same
Never
way
ending.
with this kind of stuff. Yeah, of course there's gonna be, man. What are we gonna do with all these batteries? Like, what's I don't know. Like there's gotta be something, when these
Yeah.
lithium batteries go bad. Because I know you can't just throw lithium batteries away, especially not for a car. Are you kidding me?
So you have to have some type of plant where you can pitch them or
Mhm.
you would think you'd be able to find a way to recycle them or I
You
mean,
would think eventually you could just take it to the dealership and they just, deal with it like they do your
Right.
tires or
yeah.
your oil, but
And yeah, and they can restore that battery or use parts of it and get rid of the parts that they don't need or
yeah.
something, I
You would
don't
think,
know.
yeah, I'm not really savvy in battery technology, but you would think there
Yeah.
would be some sort of a recycling thing
Right.
they would be thinking about doing.
But on the positive part, like I'm also wondering like how much better it would help air pollution and
Oh, yeah.
maybe, you know, people breathing better and all that. I don't know. I don't know how much all these fumes breathing in all these fumes can't be good for you, but I
No,
don't
it's
know.
probably pretty good reason why there's such a rise in cancers and sicknesses and
Yeah,
allergies
no
and all that.
kidding.
Breathing all this crap in that everything's letting out. You're just breathing it
Gas
all
and
in,
stuff.
all poison.
I know. It's so crazy. The stuff we take in probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
what are
a
they gonna do with all these vehicles that run off gas?
I mean, it'll probably be a slow process, right? It's not like you're
Right.
gonna be like, boom, one day you wake up. It's probably gonna be a 10 to 20-year process where
easily, yeah.
those cars are slowly just killed out. And even then, there's probably going to be some sort of a scene. You can buy them at, but they'll be expensive to maintain because you're not going to have the same supply and demand for oil and gas and
Right.
all that. It's very much like getting diesel fuel nowadays. It's like you're paying
I
$1 extra a gallon if you're running on diesel.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I think especially if they make it to where it's just a no-brainer to
Mhm.
get an electric car because maybe it's a whole lot cheaper or they last longer or I mean all that's still kind of up in the air, I guess. I mean, I say that, but electric cars, it's not like they just came out. Sometimes I feel like I speak like they just came out, but they've been out for years. But you can just tell that's the future.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to change, the most when it comes to, the automobile industry.
Yeah, I feel like it started coming out when my wife and I first got married, so, like, 15, 18 years ago. Like, 'cause
Oh,
I remember,
really?
like,
Mhm.
the Prius or whatever, that was, like,
Right.
That
one of the
doesn't count.
first, like, electric cars. He said that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. I'm just kidding. Who wants to drive a Prius? I mean, god dang.
I don't know if
like,
it's
you
gonna
just
save me $60 a week. I might.
yeah, I know. Next week you see me like, "What's up, guys? Honk,
Yeah.
honk."
Remember there was this fad a while ago. It's probably been about 10 years since I've even seen one, but the little smart cars.
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I
Now,
would see the biggest people get out of those too, and just like, how does
yeah,
that work? How are you not scraping on the ground on your way to work?
Shaq in a
I
smart
think
car.
the only small car that I wouldn't buy it, but I think I would like to drive back and forth to work is one of those Mini Coupes, like
Oh
the real
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that was
the
dope.
real
Yeah.
sporty. Like there's a couple you'll see that I actually feel like I haven't seen those in a while. Mini Coupes, but those just look like they'd be fun. It'd be like taking a go-kart to work, but you're
yeah.
going a
I
lot
have a friend that
faster.
has one. He loves it.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Yeah, I want a truck though, man, or a 4Runner.
I think you spend money now. Just wait till you get.
That's
Oh,
why. Yeah,
oh.
that's what I want. It's not.
They're making
Yeah,
electric trucks.
My
yeah. It'd probably still be expensive.
my boss bought a truck. And he took it back after like a week, and he realized he was going to spend $800 a month in gas.
Dude, it's
Wow.
He was
not
like,
worth
"Nah,
it.
I'm good, I'm good, homie." He gets like
It
12 miles a gallon. Like, what?
Yeah,
Are you doing?
it's not worth it. I mean, that's the bummer part of it is like I mean, it's such a nice multi-purpose vehicle, but then again, man, I'm in my car by myself 90% of the time, so it's like there's part of me, it's like I don't even need a big vehicle, It's just
Right.
get me around and throw the kids in there from time to time.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been one of those people that like I want a nicer car. Well, especially when I was driving, 45 minutes to and from work. It's like, man, I want something
Yeah,
decent to ride in with, nice,
comfortable.
nice sound system, maybe a seat warmer,
Yeah,
drive around in the cold,
No start. Yeah.
remote start. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
yeah,
I think if I was to only drive like 5 minutes to work, I wouldn't have cared. But
right. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just nice having a nice car, but then again, it's just a car payment and gas and insurance, and it becomes so expensive. um, what'd you guys think about that Ben Simmons and James Harden trade? Do you guys like that, or
just
do
two
you care
babies
less?
being traded. I don't even care. It's like both of y'all are wackos. They could
I,
have traded Irving too, and I've been like, team's better.
The crybabies,
I
right?
Team's
well,
better.
but I find it kind of weird with James because like I feel like he just got crapped on like out of nowhere. Like
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like him and Irving didn't get along very well. From everything that I've read, I was like, these two dudes probably just don't like each other for some reason, and
it's
Harden wants out.
understandable. I mean, yeah,
Well, it's like you go and you basically shit all over Houston to join this team, only to play with this dude. Like, regardless of what you think about it, right? To play with this dude that can only play half the games, and
Right.
and then like you're reading stories about he's like doing some sort of a burning incense ritual before a game, and you're like, what? I don't know. Kyrie, for all I don't know, man. There has been no team that Kyrie has ended well with. Like, and
Right.
when he went to Brooklyn, I was like, I don't know what Durant's doing because Kyrie's not your guy. Like, Kyrie's very talented. He's a rich man. He's, generational wealth. All those, say what you want about him, whatever. But in terms of being a team player, he's not.
yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time judging these guys just by just because we don't really know what goes on. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Kyrie did okay in Cleveland, and then I just think it runs its course. Like you just
yeah, but
just some.
he's imploded with everybody. I mean, he imploded with LeBron. Like he imploded
But
with the
he's not a.
Celtics. And he's imploding with Boston or with the Nets. It seems like
That's
it's just
yeah.
you're 0 for 3, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I surely can't defend him because there's
You
been,
think that comes with winning a title early too?
I just think there's something with him. Like, I just think he just thinks different, and that's okay. Like, that's okay. Like, I just think he's just another Kanye West. He's really good at what he does, but in terms of social, whatever it is, he's just not there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I need to hear more like conversations or, more interviews with him to kind of hear, what he's going through or what he's thinking or,
Yeah.
because I don't know. I guess that's how I kind of view a lot of this stuff. It's just like, dude, we just, I understand the headlines and all that. And it's so easy just to like see that and be done with it. But it's just like sometimes when you hear him talk, you're just like, oh, yeah, I
He's
get
a
it.
smart
Like,
dude. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he does great things. Like he
yeah.
has great charities. He does great. Like I'm not as far as Kyrie as a person. I I got nothing. Like, he seems to be a good dude, but Kyrie as a teammate, that ain't it. Like, he just doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be good in. Have you ever met somebody, right, in school that if you had a group project, there's no way in hell you wanted to be with that person?
Right.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that might be him. Like, once again, he's a great player, seems to be a great person, great ideas, but in that setting, I don't think he's very good with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, but I mean, kind of back to what we were saying though, like I thought it was weird that like James Harden was the one that was always there for the Nets, always there alongside Kevin Durant, and then he gets traded and then people are crapping on James Harden. It's just like
Exactly.
Right.
it's like, dude, he was there for you. Like
Well,
he tried, you
thick and
know?
thin, he was there. That's what I said. I think it had something to do with him and Kyrie. Like, I think he was tired of Kyrie
Everything was
and was
fine
like,
when
I
they
just want
didn't
out of
play
this.
together.
What's
Everything
that?
was fine when they didn't play together because I think it showed what they only played like 15, 16, 17 games together total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's all that they got. But I mean, I would like to have seen all three of them together just to see, how it would work. But I also think the Nets got just as good, if not better. I mean, I
think
know
they got,
It has to
I
be.
think they got more debt.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Ben Simmons. I mean, I
but
don't
Ben
know.
Simmons is still going to be able to be the defender that James is not. They don't need Ben to score, but Ben will get inside and score. And then you got Seth Curry also that they picked up, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a weapon, especially for those type of players that draw so much attention where people are
Mhm.
going to lay off a little off of somebody like Seth Curry, and he's just there in the corner
Right.
all day long.
Yeah,
hitting 3 or 4 threes a game.
I think the Seth Curry acquisition was good. Yeah, I agree with that. Ben Simmons he's just such a wild card. Like, I don't know.
I
Is he damaged at this point in time mentally? Like, is it,
Nah.
I mean,
I think this will be
maybe even
what
make
he
a
needs.
layup when it counted, right? I mean, or a dunk or whatever it was he missed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. But I also think maybe a new start,
Yeah.
take that pressure off of Philly. You
Yeah.
got new teammates, you got new management, you got new encouragement, you got,
Mhm.
it just, how it is, man. You get labeled something so quick,
Yeah.
and then everyone tells you that you can't do something, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're in a game and you're like, I got a million people telling me I can't shoot. Well, I'm about to shoot. Good luck.
Fair. Yeah. I think having a mentor too, like Durant, may be helpful. Because I don't feel like he had that in. I mean, he didn't really have a mentor. Who would have mentored him in Philadelphia?
Well, I mean, Joel
Embiid is
Embiid
gonna
would.
do it for you. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
they're
needs
the
a
same
veteran.
age.
He almost needs like a Chris Paul or somebody, or
He does, yeah.
honestly, a LeBron. I mean,
The
even a
thing
LeBron
is
would.
I don't know how well that the Brooklyn team will ever do with Kyrie there. And I hate to keep harping on the guy, but it's like he's just too much of a wild card.
If they get consistent, if they, I can't wait
Yeah.
for the playoffs.
If he gets
Every
consistent,
year.
they'll be great. But that's just so much
Yeah.
of an unknown.
Yeah,
Is Brooklyn even in the running to make the playoffs right now?
They are. They're like 6th or 7th. Like, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, I think I read somewhere where like Kyrie Irving's not eligible to play like the next 13 games or something ridiculous.
Right. It's something
Why?
weird. It's something weird because of the mandates in New York. So the
Yeah.
home
So
players
weird.
can't actually. The unvaccinated home players can't play, but the away team can come
Yeah,
in with
it's because
unvaccinated
you
players.
can't dictate what the away team does. But I also think it's Canada.
It's so weird.
Doesn't he have some
It's
games
crazy.
in Canada too or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's not all the same.
I don't
You know,
either.
I mean,
even
I know it's. Go ahead.
even Adam Silver came out today and he was talking about that situation.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean-
Can't we just get to a point where it's like, look, dude, it's there, and if you don't want it, don't take it. It is what it is.
I feel like
Right.
we should have been there 2 years ago, but it's.
It is what it is.
They once again they make too much money off of it. They need it in the headlines. They need it in the, and it's not downplaying it at all. It's just it gives them, there's a tracker on the news of how many people are dying and the raids. It's just like, do we really need to have a a tally?
There's a lot of people dying, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I read somewhere like 60,000 people died in January from COVID or something
Wow.
like that. That's
Yeah.
30 people died in November. 60, they're saying, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I talked to my friend tonight who works at the hospital, and she said it's still it's still busy. It's still, and she said, the biggest thing is just the variables. I mean, she's like, yeah, it's definitely the older and more out of shape, stuff that we've talked about. But then,
Yeah.
every once in a while you have a young kid come in here who struggles with it and all
Mhm.
that. So it's still a thing, I guess.
Maybe it's nature's way of saving Social Security.
Yeah.
It's doing it's doing something.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, that's enough COVID talk. But
Yep, we're good. I've had
but
my
yeah,
30 seconds.
yeah. But I mean, I think the playoffs this year will be interesting. I mean, I've been looking at the standings every once in a while, and the standings are just freaking out of control. I'm like, how? When did Chicago? When did
Yeah,
Miami?
When
is
Chicago gets so good, yeah.
did
Got
did
excited?
Jordan did Jordan come back and no one tell me? Or
Dude,
Jordan
yeah,
came back as DeRozan.
dude, Chicago just straight stripped Orlando. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's really what happened. They got some of those. I think is it Zach? What's the
Zach
guy's name?
LaVine.
Yes,
Zach
Zach
LaVine,
LaVine.
yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
DeRozan. I mean, they
Yeah,
just
right.
got these. It's funny when you watch like these guys who are like so good for their individual teams, but they just don't get the pieces, and then they go somewhere else, and then you get these other young pieces, and it's just
Mhm.
this like it just gels. Like some team, I think that's what's happened with the Suns. It's like you get the right pieces, and then it's just you put the right point guard there, and you get the right shooters. It's beautiful to watch. I mean,
So what you're
Golden
saying is
State's
if
the
you don't
perfect
have a
example.
shitty organization, you can find the right players, and then they can play well
Well,
together.
Absolutely.
You don't trade all your good players away for just another random person and just pray it works.
yeah, I think we're going to be okay with I think this
We'll be
Tyrese
the
guy
same.
well, there's that too. I think we'll be the
We'll
same,
be the same.
but I think we at least got a pretty decent player out of it. But
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, it's unless you're getting a number one pick or
Yeah.
but I mean,
But
look,
even that backfires.
Orlando.
Look at Zion right now.
Hey, I'm just gonna
Yeah, I
say,
feel
I
for
said
him.
from the start. I said
You
it from the
did.
start. Like
You did.
he was gonna be injury prone. He was too big, and he was not made for the NBA.
Right.
Well, I think I texted this earlier, but I don't know if you guys replied. Is his foot injury, does this stem from what happened to him in college?
Is it the same or is it different? I would say you're
not
probably
sure.
right on that, Blake. But I think the biggest thing is I remember reading the headlines is that he has not been good with rehab. Like
Right.
he hasn't been consistent.
Oh, really?
And
You can't play.
And I've read like stories out there where the team has tried to get on him to like, hey, you need to exercise, you need to do these things, you need to make sure you're doing your rehab. And I don't know if that led up to him having to have the second surgery. I don't know that, but
I can't imagine him not having a team around him that forces him to go train. I mean, I understand training's no fun, but it's like, dude, you're a Ferrari. Like they gotta tune you up, man. They gotta, yeah.
We don't know his personality either. Does he even want to play? Does he have that drive in there to get better?
I mean,
Maybe that's it. Maybe he got that contract and that was all the money he needed. And now he's
Yeah.
good to go. I don't know. If you're a competitor, man, that burns inside of you to, want to,
I mean, sometimes maybe sometimes, but there's a lot of people out there we know that are very good at sports that aren't necessarily that committed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're really good at what they do, but they're just naturally good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
That's true.
they haven't really had to work that hard to get there, and that is what it is at this point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. I would love to see what he can do, but yeah, it's disappointing to see him hurt all the time.
Yeah, too bad.
Yep, but he's still rich, so
he's
he'll be
rich.
all right. Not like that solves all your problems, but it does buy you washer and dryers.
That's funny. That's funny, man. Because my wife and I were talking about like this year, we're not spending anything on Valentine's or our anniversary, and we're gonna get like a new oven.
I know. Adult decisions.
Like, yeah, that's our 18th year anniversary right there. It's like, yep, makes sense.
We're gonna bake a cake,
dude. It's gonna be like one with the air fryer in it and everything. That's what I told her.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man, you should, dude. Air fryers are awesome. I'll tell you what, I've been getting a little bit better at smoking, just using that Traeger. Gosh dang, dude, it's making a difference. I made those steaks the other day, and I made some ribs, and man, it was I was so happy. Like my mouth was so there's a little bit more joy when you make it yourself, you know. And
Yeah.
I was, and I don't always get it right. You know, there's sometimes they're on there a little too long or whatever. But man, I
Yep.
knocked it out of the park
I've
Monday.
done that. I've had a night or two where I'm like, fuck it, we're getting pizza. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't save this shit.
yeah. It's burnt. Get that DoorDash.
I get distracted or something usually is what happens, and like, or I'm trying
Yes.
something new, and I'm like, oh well, that turned out way worse.
That
than
didn't
I
work.
thought it would.
Yeah. Yeah, I always do a bunch of YouTube searching and just like different tips and stuff, but it's always different. Like it's never as long as, you know, the 4 different, you know, YouTube channels that I watched on their, you know, it just there's too many variables, I guess, but probing your meat is really makes the world of difference. Like when you know what the temperature is on the
Oh, yeah.
inside and you pull it
Mhm.
off
Oh,
at the
yeah.
right time, especially chicken. I mean, I can't even believe how good our chicken's been just because
Mhm.
I'm pulling it off when it's done, not when it's overdone or
Yeah,
dried out or whatever.
yeah. I have to agree with that, Blake. After I got the internal temperature probe
Mm-hmm.
put in the meat, and you just have like I know you have the app, but I have like another thing I carry around with me when I cook, and it beeps at me.
Yeah.
Oh, and you just know to run and go take it off real quick.
Take it
Yeah.
off. Yep. It's fun, man. It's fun to do. All right, boys.
All right.
Drop that sexy music.
That's right.
Yeah. Got that oven music.
Valentine's.
Valentine's.
Oh,
was thinking
we
that's
did
what
get.
you were. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. No, we went last week to a place in Bargersville called Our Table, OUR Table. Delicious. If you guys ever come on this side of town, it was so good, man. So fresh. It was actually pretty close to the Center Grove area.
Kevin, are you loud over there?
What's that?
Oh my bad,
Right.
I was showing my whiteness.
It's a little too far
Are you
south for
loud in
me.
Bargersville, Kevin?
He's like,
Yeah.
is that near
Yeah.
New Whiteland, Indiana? Because I don't want to
You
go
need, yeah, you need a
Right.
card.
there. Yeah. Don't worry, Kevin. Don't worry, Kevin. You can go with me. I'll get you in.
There we go.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
questions asked.
Yep.
Is this your boy?
Yeah. It's my brother. I promise.
Yeah.
Your boy.
This is your boy. It's so funny.